Welcome to Internal Warrior Yoga. Today is day 4 for the Yoga for More Flexibility Challenge. If you are just joining us, I will link the playlist down below so that you can enjoy all 7 days. Check that you subscribe to my channel and then join me at the front of the mat. Starting in Tadasana today. So look at your feet. You want them to be hip distance apart, toes pointing directly forward. Take the palms, spin them out, roll the shoulder blades down the back, and then close the eyes. Take an inhale, filling the entire stomach up with air. Exhale, feel all the air leave the body. Do that again one more time. Inhale, feel the stomach inflate. Exhale, feel all the air as it leaves the body. Breathing deeply helps to release stress and tension and helps you to go deeper into your flexibility. So continue this deep breathing throughout the whole practice today. Gently open the eyes. Take the hands to prayer, heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, tuck the navel in towards the spine. Send the hips forward for a mini back bend. Inhale, lift up, come back to center. Exhale, float the hands back down towards the chest. Take the right hand to the right hip. Inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, send the hips over to the left, reaching the right arm towards the right. Spread the fingers. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, other side, left hand to left hip. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, send the hips over to the right and the right arm towards the left. Inhale, back up to center. Check with your feet, make sure that they are still hip distance apart. Then dive forward, hinging at the hips for Uttanasana. Plant the hands into the mat, spread the fingers, and gently pick the right leg up, pressing it back behind you, coming into a Lana or high lunge. Bend into the left knee. Inhale, circle the arms up, reach up. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the hips and interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, puff the chest forward, look up. Exhale, come forward with the torso, release the hands, planting them down onto the mat. Invite the right kneecap down onto the ground and push the ground away with the hands, sending the hips back behind you. Allow the left toes to come up off of the mat and extend the right hand towards the left hip. If this is too intense for you as you flex your left foot, then send the hips a little bit forward, bending into the left knee, continuing to flex the left foot. Find where you need to be to get a good deep stretch. Don't push yourself too far. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend deeply into the left knee as you draw the hips forward. Invite the left hand down onto the mat, framing the left foot. Push the ground away with the right toes, drawing the right kneecap up. And float the right leg up about halfway. Turn the right toes to face the right corner of the mat. Bend the knees deeply. Come up onto the fingertips for just a second. Notice if this is a deep stretch for you. Stay here. Or play with straightening the legs if that feels good for your body. Wherever you decide to have the legs, inhale. And then exhale, forward fold with the upper body. Release any tension in the neck. Take an inhale. Equal length exhale. Then bend both of the knees deeply. Come up onto the fingertips and invite the right leg up towards the left. Feet are again hip distance apart and forward fold. Plant the hands into the ground, spread the fingers. Inhale, lift the left leg up, press it back behind you. Toes pushed into the ground. Inhale, circle the arms, sweep them up. Exhale, sink a little lower into the hips. Interlace your fingers behind your back in the way that feels weird. Puff the chest forward. Push out through the left heel. Breathe. On your next inhale, float the hands down, coming forward with the torso. Frame the right foot. Gently glide the left knee down onto the mat and send the hips back, inviting the right toes off of the ground and reach the right hand back towards the right hip. Remembering to stay with a bent knee if you need to, or play with straightening it. Flex the foot. Breathe through the kinks in the calves. Inhale a full belly breath. Exhale the air out. Push the hips forward, bending into the right knee. Both of the hands frame the foot. Push the ground away with the left toes, stepping up about halfway with the left foot. Toes point towards the left corner of the mat. Bend both of the knees, coming up onto the fingertips. Stay here, or straighten both of the legs, and everybody forward fold. Release the neck. On your next inhale, bend both of the legs, slowly stepping the left foot up to meet the right. Feet are hip distance apart. You may need to heel toe them over just a little bit. And exhale, fold over the body. Allow the weight that you carry on your shoulders to just roll off of your back and leave your body. Plant the hands deeply into the mat. Step the right foot back, followed by the left. Check in with your feet here. Make sure that they are truly hip distance apart, not too close together or too far away. And then beginners, come up onto your toes for downward dog. Or if you've been practicing yoga for a while, you can send the heels down towards the mat. Wherever you decide to have the feet, push the ground away with the hands to relax the shoulders. On your next inhale, draw the right leg up off of the mat, sending it behind the left. You may need to bend your knees. Feel a nice calf stretch. Or if you're not quite feeling anything, you can straighten the legs. Remember, beginners, you should be up on your toes. Inhale, lift the right leg up, drawing it back down onto the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Pick the left leg up, drawing it behind the right this time. Maybe keeping the knees bent. Inhale, pick the left leg up, drawing it back down onto the mat. Inhale, right knee in towards the chest. Step it in between the hands. And then step the left foot up a couple of inches, turning the toes towards the left corner of the mat again. Bend into the right knee. Inhale, lift up, circle the arms up. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Then take the hands behind the back. You can either Touch both of the elbows with opposite hands, or you can take your hands to your hips. Whatever you do, inhale, grow taller through the crown of the head and the tailbone. Exhale, suck the navel in, hinging forward from the hips, keeping a long spine. Come over about halfway. And if your knee's feeling a little funky, just go ahead and bring a light bend in it. No big deal. Breathe into the inner right thigh. On your next inhale, bend the right knee deeply, release the hands, floating them down onto the mat. Plant the hands. Pivot on the left foot so you're on the left toes. Bend both of the knees, inviting the left leg up towards the right. Then sink low in the hips for a modified chair pose. Stomach can come close to the thighs, and then take the hands behind the legs. Feel a nice stretch in the back, and breathe deeply for 2 breaths. Release the hands, planting them into the mat. Spread the fingers. Step the right foot back, followed by the left. Coming into downward dog, come up onto the toes if you're a beginner. You want to make an upside down letter V shape with your body. So push the ground away, sending the sits bones up towards the sky. On your next inhale, draw the right leg up, sending it behind the left foot. You can keep the knees bent. Breathe into the calves. Inhale, draw the right leg back onto the mat. Push the ground away, sending the hips up towards the sky. Pick the left leg up, drawing it behind the right leg. Breathing again into the calves, stretching them out. Inhale back to center. Draw the left knee in towards the chest, stepping it in between the hands. Step up a couple inches on the right foot, turning the toes towards the right corner of the mat. Bend into the left knee, circle the arms up on an inhale. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Take the hands behind the back or on the hips if that felt good before. Hands interlace around the elbows. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, tuck the navel in, hinging forward from the hips. Come down about halfway. Reach through the crown of the head. Maybe keep a tiny bend in the front leg if your knee's having some issues. On your next inhale, come up with the torso, bending into the left knee deeply. Release the hands, planting them down onto the mat, and hop the right foot up towards the left. Sink low with the hips for this modified chair pose, taking the hands behind the legs. Send 2 deep breaths into the lower back, into the buttocks. This time, release the hands down and slowly come up to standing. Super slowly, rippling up from the lower back, the mid back, tucking the chin and coming up with the upper back, and then slowly bring the head up. Now we're coming into a very deep forward fold. Beginners, don't get scared. There's options for everyone on this. So this is a modified Uttasana. I'm just going to turn so that you can see me. So again, we want our feet to be hip distance apart, toes pointing directly forward. Now following the same pattern that we've been doing throughout this whole practice, we want to lengthen up through the spine. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck the navel in. This is going to help you to keep a long spine, so hold that here. We want to keep a long spine even though we are forward folding. So tuck it in. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips coming forward. Beginners, maybe your hands come to your thighs. Stay here if this feels like a good stretch. Maybe your shins. Or if you've been practicing for a while, take your thumb and your first two fingers, wrapping them around your big toes. Wherever you are, inhale, roll the shoulder blades down the back, continue to tuck the belly button in. Exhale, forward folding by bending the elbows out towards the sides of the room. So you're not using a rounding spine to get you down, but you're bending your elbows to get you down more. Find your spot where you're getting a good stretch, but you're not pushing it too far. Because overstretching hurts really bad, so listen to your body. Then when you find a good spot, send a lot of breath into the legs. When you're ready to come out of it, release the hands, bending the knees deeply, and slowly rolling up with the spine. Then we're going to do that one more time, going a little bit deeper into Padahusthasana. So beginners, you can take your hands to your thighs or your shins again, but just see if you can go a little bit deeper this time. So, feet are hip distance apart, toes are pointing forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, tuck the navel in towards the spine, hinging from the hips, come forward. Then find your spot on your legs where you need to be. And if you're ready, take one hand underneath one foot, drawing the toes towards the wrist, and then do it on the other side. So toes are directly on the wrist, flat spine, remembering to tuck the navel in no matter where you're at with this pose. And then when you're ready, bend the elbows out towards the sides, coming down just a little bit more. Continuing to breathe deeply, finding your spot. And then when you're ready to come out of it, release the hands, bending the knees, slowly rippling up. Bringing the head up very last. Shake it out with the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold, just let it all go. Plant the hands into the mat, spread the fingers. Step the right foot back, followed by the left, coming into a quick plank pose. Hands underneath the shoulders. Round the spine just a little bit, and then bend the elbows in towards the body and slowly come all the way down onto the mat. When you get there, take the hands one on top of the other and rest the left cheek on the arms. Close the eyes and notice how your legs feel now. Let go of how well you thought you did. And just be proud of the amazing body that you have. Take a couple more deep breaths here. And lift the head off of the arm, switching over to the right cheek. Continuing to keep the eyes closed. I'll lay here for just a minute longer. Come back to your body. Take the head off of the hands, opening up the eyes. Send the hands onto the mat underneath the shoulders. Slowly push the ground away, rounding the spine. Walk the hands back towards the knees. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Until next time, namaste.